entertainment.
You're listening to the Pelicans post-game report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
All things Pelicans. Now tuned into the Pelican post-game report on the PRO Media Network. I'm Big Q chiming with you on the Pelican post-game report. Recapping the Pelicans' I guess you could say the last week's worth of action. Man, what a fantastic game it was tonight. Man, it was a pretty spectacular game tonight, man. I enjoyed that win over the Pacers, man. And enough, in truth be told, about the situation dealing with it is the fact that the Pelicans beat a pretty damn good team tonight, man. I'm just going to keep it real with you. This was a pretty good team. And most Nate McMillan coach teams are pretty damn good teams. But to beat this team the way the Pelicans did tonight was a pretty exciting win. They fought from behind, very physical, not to mention the fact that they were without their key scorer, top scorer, Brandon Ingram. But we'll recap this game as well as we cover the entire week of NBA action dealing with our beloved New Orleans Pelicans. Of course, we'll start the matchup off against the Rockets. Of course, the Bucks. Two really crucial matchups. Then we had the Bulls, Pacers, and ultimately we'll preview the Trailblazer matchup in part. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome all of you guys to the Pelican Postgame Report on the PRO Media Network. Big ups to the family members in the upcoming into the chat, and as well as the Pelican Postgame Report new subscribers. We had a few new subscribers that joined the channel, and please feel free to share the link and post it on Pelican Postgame Report forum boards and Facebook or wherever you find them. You're more than welcome to do that. Now, moving into some of the action, we're going to start off with the Rockets matchup. And just to break it down, in this matchup, pretty interesting if you take a look at this matchup with the Rockets. As they went down 117 to 109. Ingram scored 28 points in the matchup. He also led the team in rebounds with 12. Ball had 9 assists in the matchup. Now, playing with a much larger lineup than Houston, the Rockets started with P.J. Tucker at center, a really small lineup. Then New Orleans out-rebounded the Rockets 63 to 43, including that 16-11 on the offensive end. 5 Pelicans rebounds grabbed, which is Ingram, Williamson, Ball, Hart, and these guys were terrific. Now with 4 players, which is Ingram, Williamson, Ball, and Hart, they posted double doubles. The New Orleans recorded 23 turnovers on the afternoon that resulted in 29 points for the Rockets. You can't do that. They posted 10 turnovers in opening frame, just totally undisciplined and disrespected the ball in this game. Now trailing 77-2 in the early portion of the game, they scored 14 unanswered points to take a 9-point lead midway through the time frame. Houston ultimately answered with a 23-12 run to end the quarter. They then reclaimed the lead heading into the second period. The game remained 1-2 possession-wise game through the second and third quarters, with Houston holding a 110-107 lead with just a minute 52 left in regulation. The Rockets ended the game on a 7-2 run to seal the win. Now, Brandon Ingram was held scoreless in the fourth quarter, and Zion Williamson was held to just 4 points, as New Orleans was just 5 of 22, which was about 27%, actually 23% from the field, including 0 for 9 from the three-point range, 6 of 9 from the free throw line, with 3 missed free throws coming in the last 2 minutes of regulation. You cannot do that. You give up 23 turnovers, then you don't hit the free throws. You're cold as a flounder shooting the deep ball. It just didn't look good in the matchup against the Rockets. Of course, I wanted to see him take it to the Rockets, man, as this is becoming not quite a nemesis to us. But here's Elvin Gentry with his thoughts after the Rockets loss.
Right, Coach, we know Houston's a very good team, but you still had an opportunity, but just so many mistakes, so many turnovers in this game. Point differential of turnovers 25, and that's almost impossible to overcome.
That's where the game was, really. And really the most disappointing thing is that through all of that, we had a chance in the fourth quarter, and we didn't execute, and we didn't do what we were supposed to do. And it being said, Zion can't go 4 minutes without touching the basketball, and that's on me. That's something that I've got to make sure that will never happen again. And so, I take responsibility for that. And if we're not going to get it to him and we're not going to execute, then we got to have different people in the game. And that's on me also. So I'm really disappointed because I thought we just, I had to take an early timeout right from the start. And we didn't have the right approach to the game from an energy standpoint. We didn't have the right approach to the game from an execution standpoint. So it's very disappointing. We went through stretches again where we played well and did what we were supposed to do, and I thought we executed fine. But over the course of the game, we didn't play the type of basketball that's deserving of a win on the road. Not on the road. We just didn't.
How much of that Zion not getting the ball down the stretch is that just guys figuring out how to play together in clutch moments?
No, you got to throw him the damn basketball. I mean, it has nothing to do with playing together, figuring it out. He's got an advantage, and we've got to find a way to get him the basketball down there. So I'm not buying the playing together or figuring out or anything like that. That we have to have him have touches in the fourth quarter. If not, then there's no reason for us to have him in the game.
Elvin Gentry keeping it real on that one. That's the real as Elvin Gentry was, and when besides the fact when he got upset last season, to really see him actually tell the truth right there, that was pretty good for Gentry to do that. Now the reason being is that's absolutely right. That was absolutely a travesty not being able to get Zion Williamson the ball late in the game. Elvin Gentry saying that won't happen again. He has to order players to get him the balls, run plays to get Zion Williamson the ball, and that didn't happen in the matchup. And too bad. They went down. They should have won this game. This was one of those games where they should have won the game. But ultimately, too many turnovers, undisciplined team at times, reflecting the coach inconsistency. It continues to plague this team despite the fact that they've played well enough games to be able to bind in the way the reporter was asking. But it comes to a point in the game where you have to rely on the players or the moneymakers or the big-time players. That's what they're there for. Zion Williamson and Ingram, those guys have proven that they can step up when it's need, when the time is called, or when those times present themselves. Those stars are supposed to make themselves present. And of course, if you don't give them the ball, they can't help out. Harden finished with 40 points, 9 assists in the matchup. As the Rockets they snuck out a win here because the Pelicans should have had this one. Moving into the next game, the Pelicans then went from Houston to Milwaukee to take on Giannis and the Milwaukee Bucks. This was a very interesting game as well. In the matchup, Milwaukee outscored New Orleans in the paint 60-40 on the fast break, 33-14. New Orleans was held under 40% shooting for the third time this season. They finished 38 of 99 for about less than 38%, about a little bit over 38% from the field. They began the game hitting 6 of the first 11 shots, including 5 of 8 from three-point range, then pushing their lead as much as 10 points in the opening frame. Now, New Orleans began hitting 6 of those 11 shots, in that frame, and they kind of had to figure out a way how to stay relevant in this game because the Milwaukee Bucks, this is a really tough. This is a championship basketball team. I mean, they have the pedigree. They'll be, this is an elite team in the Eastern Conference. And they play as such. They play really solid defense. They play really well together. They shoot the ball well. They're long. And they play well around Giannis. I mean, just to keep it real with you. Trailing by 3 to open the second half, Milwaukee opened the third quarter on a 30-9 run to take an 88-70 lead back with about 5 minutes remaining in the frame. Milwaukee went 15-28 for about 54% from the floor in that period, finishing, and then including the 5 and 11 from downtown, which is about 45%. New Orleans was held to just 9 of 27 from the floor. That's 33%, and shot 3 of 13 from three-point range. That's 23%. Absolutely a shame. Giannis he scored 16 of his 42 third quarter points, while he scored 16 of those Milwaukee 42. While Ingram scored 12 of the Pelicans 24 in that same time frame. Now trailing by 15 to begin the fourth quarter, New Orleans opened the frame on an 11-3 run to cut the deficit to 7 points with about 9:26 remaining, but would not get any closer than that. Milwaukee lead 107-100 with about 6:47 remaining. The Bucks went on the 11-2 push then led by 16, then pretty much sealed the win from that point on. New Orleans dropped their 4th straight contest to the Bucks, and the Bucks are an elite team. Bottom line, Giannis finished with 34 and 17 in the matchup. Middleton had 8 assists. Ingram was the top scorer for the Pelicans. He had 32 points. Ball finished with 14 rebounds, and Holiday and Williamson both had 5 assists in the matchup. But you've seen with Zion Williamson was challenging Giannis. And even though he's a rookie, I appreciate the fact that he was really trying to take it to that level, but Giannis wasn't afraid to meet him there. And I remember when he tried to actually take it to the – looked like he was trying to dunk on him 1 or 2 times, but Giannis went up and made sure he let him know, that's not going to happen, rookie. I'm not going to let you dunk on me. But it's interesting, man. I could appreciate it. But when you look at what the Bucks are, the Bucks, this is a serious team, and they have championship aspirations. They are well-rounded. They're disciplined with the ball. They shoot the 3. They're a good team. And ultimately, when you don't play complete basketball, that's what ends up happening to your ass. To keep it real with you. But here's Elvin Gentry gonna play Coach Gentry in the post-game matchup with the Bucks and see what the old ball coaches thoughts after his team dropped one against the Bucks. Here's Gentry.
All right, Coach, 3-point lead at halftime, and then the first 7 minutes of the third quarter told the tale. They went on a 30-9 run, and we saw the firepower that Milwaukee had. They take advantage of mistakes.
Well, they do, and that's exactly what we did. We made a couple of mistakes. We turned it over a couple of times, and all of a sudden a 3-point lead, you're down 10, and then you're down 12, and then you're down. But that's who they are, and so you have to avoid those kind of runs against them, and the only way you can do it is that you got to be solid in what you're doing. You got to score the basketball, and then you have to be in transition defense. At the end of the day, we told you that was going to be very important. They had 33 fast break points, and I'm not real sure if you can survive that. And if you mix in the 3-point shooting that they have, and I know they didn't shoot the ball well from 3, but they were costly ones that they made. And actually, they were the ones that really kind of gave them the separation. And then they were also the ones that kind of, every time we made a run back, somebody made a timely one that just made us keep our distance.
They're so long defensively as well, Coach, and then you try to go inside and everything is contested.
Well, it is, but the whole key for that is that you got to start inside. But we did a good job early on in the game of driving and kicking and finding open guys and having open shots. I think we made 5 threes the first quarter. Those are the kind of things you have to do against this team because they're great at rim protection, and they're great at rim protection because they play 5 guys in the paint. So it's not that they've got great shot blockers, but they do a really good job of helping each other.
Coach Bud is a fantastic coach. I just have to say that. He came over from the Atlanta Hawks. He went up to Milwaukee, and he put together a fantastic scheme up there with the Milwaukee Bucks, and they look absolutely terrific with Coach Bud. I mean, I have to say this team, and I couldn't help but watch how the Milwaukee Bucks was playing out, saying this is how a basketball team's supposed to play. They don't turn the ball over like that. They're very disciplined. They circulate the ball. They play well together. They shoot the 3-pointer well. But when it comes down to defense, they're long. They crowd the paint. They make it difficult for you. Even meaning their length. It gives you difficulties when it's time to shoot 3-pointers because some of their bigs are able to circulate and their players are able to circulate out to the paint to the 3-point line to guard down shots or run you off the 3-point line. And in this matchup, you heard Gentry said they play well inside, but if you look at some of the statistics in this matchup, Derek Favors played 25 minutes, didn't score 1 point in this game. This is an inside battle with the Bucks. It just wasn't the case. Zion Williamson, he finished with 20 points, but you take him out with 5 minutes left in the game when he was actually looking like he could do something. I just don't get it. 32 points for Brandon Ingram. Lonzo Ball struggled in this one. Drew Holiday struggled mightily in this one. And, I mean, the bench up and down. And the Bucks just took them apart, man. They had 5 starters in double figures in this matchup. They couldn't do a damn thing with them. But this is a lesson. They fall 120 to 108 to the Milwaukee Bucks, man. But it's a learning lesson, man, as we will continue. About to go into our break. When we come back on the other side of the break, we will then talk about the other matchups that'll be coming up on the other side of the break with the Pelicans. We got the Bulls matchup and other matchups coming up after the other side of the break. Y'all stick with us.
Get straight sports talk from the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys.
Embrace Pet Insurance is more than just pet insurance. Embrace Pet Insurance promises to provide genuine support and certainty when your pet needs it the most. With personalized accident and illness policies, compassionate customer care, 24/7 access to veterinary professionals, flexible wellness plans, timely claims processing, and online customer portals, their values is what makes them Embrace. So, when selecting a pet insurance company as a partner in your pet's care, you deserve a company that has your pet's best interests at heart. Get top-rated and reviewed coverage for your pet today. Up to 90% back on bills at any vet, total protection, pet insurance and wellness, and dependable claims payments. Get the top-rated and reviewed coverage for your pet today. Go to embracepetinsurance.com. That's embracepetinsurance.com. Check the link in the description section below.
Get all the latest news and updates from your New Orleans Pelicans at the Pelicans GEAUX, the new and official Pelicans daily journal, covering everything Pelican. Attention, everyone. Get breakdown on games, free agent signings, and potential moves. Unbiased opinions and straight up facts with statistical analysis from G Balance. Go to www.thesportsdaily.com/Pelicans-I-View.
Are you a boxing fan? Check out Ring Kings Boxing only on the PRO Media Network.
Do you need a domain name? How about a host for your website that can work with WordPress? Try Namecheap.com. They make registering, hosting, and managing domain names for yourself or others easy and affordable because the internet needs people. Namecheap is an ICANN accredited domain register and technology company founded in 2000. It's one of the fastest growing American companies according to the 2018 Inc. 5000, celebrating nearly 2 decades of providing unparalleled levels of service, security, and support. Namecheap has been steadfast in customer satisfaction with over 10 million domains under management. Namecheap is among the top domain registrars and web providers in the world. They offer a full selection of popular and unique domains along with fully featured hosting packages, SSL security certificates, WhoisGuard privacy protections, and more, all at the lowest prices in the industry. So if you need a domain name or hosting or anything else, think Namecheap.com. That's right, Namecheap.com. Check the description section below for link.
Sports fans are gearing up and saving big at Fanatics.com, the world's largest collection of officially licensed fan gear. From all the leagues, teams, and players you love, unique one-of-a-kind designs exclusively by Fanatics, and autographed collectibles from today's biggest stars shipped directly to your home. Join Fanatics Rewards for free to earn fan cash on every purchase. Shop now and for a limited time, get 20% off all orders. Fanatics.com, officially licensed everything.
There's a lot of reasons to be a fan, but only NBAStore.com has all the gear.
Are you a Pelicans fan? Check out the Pelican postgame report on the PRO Media Network.
You're listening to the Pelicans postgame report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
For everything and all things Pelicans, you're now listening to the Pelican postgame report on the PRO Media Network. Of course, we recapping the Pelicans, man. This is a once-a-week show. Recapping the Pelicans' entire week, man, and we just went over the 2 losses to the Rockets and the Milwaukee Bucks. Both of which, well, actually the Rockets game, the Pelicans had it in their hands, let it slip. You can't have 20-plus turnovers in a matchup against the Rockets, as good a shooting team as they'll be, as undisciplined as the Pelicans have been. And then, of course, against the Milwaukee Bucks, who are one of the top teams in the NBA's Eastern Conference, they just look every bit of it. Long, athletic, and shoot. Coach Bud had them playing really well. I was impressed with the Milwaukee Bucks, to be honest with you. And I just couldn't help but think in my head, this is what a team's supposed to look like that wants to contend for something. But moving on into the next matchup. The next matchup is the Chicago Bulls matchup, a lighter foe in terms of competition for the Pelicans to kind of get that medicine to get a little confidence, because the Rockets and the Bucks, those are 2 serious teams, right? But having the Chicago Bulls on the roster, on the schedule coming up next, was just what the Pelicans needed. And they went up into a matchup with this team New Orleans finished the game on almost 54% shooting from the field, 49 of 87, including 16 of 38 from deep. That's good for 42%. The Pelicans handed out a season-high 38 assists on 49 field goals. That's damn good. Leading by 10 points to open the second half, Pelicans went on a 23-6 run, pushing their lead to 27 points, which is the largest of the game. Then 4 minutes or so in the remaining the third quarter, trailing by 23, 119-96 with about 3:54 left in regulation. The Bulls reserves mounted a late comeback against the Pelicans bench players. They went on a 23-4 run to cut the deficit to just 4 points with less than 5 minutes remaining. Then Nico Melli sealed the win for the Pelicans, tipping in a missed free throw with Jackson Hayes with 3.6 remaining to make it a 2-possession game. Now, the Pelicans reserves counted for 63 of 125 points, with J.J. Redick added 18 off the pine. Josh Hart had added 12, so did Nico Melli. New Orleans, now they swept the regular season series with the Bulls for the third straight season, winning 6 consecutive games against the Bulls dating back to November the 4th of 2017. Now, that's following a 6-game losing streak against Chicago that happened from December the 27th of 2014 to April the 2nd of 2017. So the Pelicans have just been dominating the Chicago Bulls of late and took the win by 125-19. Williamson had 21 points in the game, 15 rebounds for Derek Favors. Ball had 10 assists. Zach LaVine, 22 points for the Bulls in the matchup. Pretty interesting, but this was just the kind of matchup that the Pelicans needed to get right. Here's Coach Elvin Gentry with his post-game spiel.
Last 4.5 minutes, and Chicago was able to make a run, but up until then, that was as good as you can play. 38 assists is outstanding.
It is. I thought we did a good job of moving the basketball. I thought our defense was very solid, especially on Zach. I just think, he can go get his shot against anybody, anytime. And I thought we did a really good job of in team defense with him. Thought we passed the ball well, as you said, 38 assists. We did a good job of not giving up offensive rebounds. It's just the last 4.5 minutes, which, in this league, when you get an opportunity to play, you have to take advantage of it. And I didn't see that with some of the guys that we put out there.
Well, it's teachable moments for some young players out there.
Very teachable. And if you can't do better, you won't be in the game. It doesn't matter what the situation is. I just think that, we're trying to build something and we're trying to do something right here. And when given the opportunity, you have to take advantage of that.
Elvin Gentry, man, that's pretty good. Pretty good thoughts right there. And he's doing a better job of circulating those lineups, to be quite honest with you. Something that we were critical of Elvin Gentry for doing, not knowing which players to take hold of and play in these games. But Elvin Gentry has done a better job. Just got to keep it honest with you guys. He's done a better job of circulating lineups and putting the people in there that actually should help the team make some moves, like Nico Melli. The stretch 4 we talked about with the hustle. He's not athletic and all this kind of stuff, but he's an all-effort player. He can stretch the floor for you. He gets the rebounds for you. He's playing defense. Nico Melli should see minutes. I like the fact that in tonight's game against the Pacers, they used Jahlil Okafor against Sabonis. I like that. The old Elvin Gentry would have had his small lineup going against that length at a tremendous deficit and would sit there and try to make excuses for it. That's absolutely insane. When those other guys got the length out there, you got to be smarter than that. You just can't give the size advantage to your opposing team. But this matchup against Chicago is just what the Pelicans needed in the matchup. Ingram finished with 15 points on the night. Zion Williamson, 21 points on the matchup. Ball struggled. Ball had 9 points with 10 assists in the game, 3 of 5 shooting from the field and the three-point line in 33 minutes of action. Derek Favors, 8 points, 15 rebounds in the matchup in 19 minutes of play. Drew Holiday, he struggled again in this one. He was 4 of 11, 1 of 5 from downtown, had 9 points, but the bench is where it was at. Nico Melli off the bench with 12, 18 off the bench from J.J. Redick on 7 of 4 from the field, 3 of 8 from downtown, 12 points for Josh Hart, who balled 9 points for Jackson Hayes. So as you can see, the Pelicans also give 8 points to E'Twaun Moore in 20 minutes, 3 of 8 from the field, 2 of 4 from downtown. So it was a pretty nice affair for the Pelicans, and that's what I'm saying. They have a very deep bench. Circulate and utilize that bench. They have shooters on that bench. They have defensive players on that bench. Jackson Hayes is a defensive guy who loves to shot block, run the court, and he also is a pretty good offensive rebounder. You have terrific talent. E'Twaun Moore, J.J. Redick, Josh Hart, his name is his game. This was a terrific bench, to be quite honest with you, to enforce the 5. So the Pelicans get a nice win right there, 125-119. as they turned 21 of 31. Now, we got to keep looking and thinking positive here, because every game, the Pelicans, if they can just start getting on these streaks, it'll help them every step of the way. Now, the next opponent, was tonight's opponent, which was the Indiana Pacers, with the Pelicans actually did a pretty damn good job in this game. It was a really nice game. It was an exciting game. I enjoyed watching the game. It was pretty good. And it was nip and tuck for a minute. And, of course, up into the third, when the Pelicans put up 36 points in the fourth quarter to ultimately kind of take to kind of extend out. Now, Drew Holiday, you got to give him credit, man. In this one, he exploded in the fourth quarter to help the team, to carry the team to a win in this one. The Pelicans were 53% from the field the Pacers were 53% from the field. Pelicans were 46%. And they shot almost 40% from downtown, 39.5 to be precise. Pacers with 34.6. Pelicans held the turnover based on other games. They only had 15 turnovers this game against the Pacers, 14. But what really was exciting is the fact that the Pelicans out-rebounded the Pacers in their building, 53-37 on the board. That was pretty exciting for the Pelicans and a capacity crowd in this matchup. And what was exciting is the fact that the Pelicans swept the Pacers on the series. Now, the Pacers, this is a pretty good team. This is a 30-win NBA basketball club right now. They're 18-9 in their own building. That was a pretty exciting endeavor for them to do, to beat the Pacers, which they were on a losing streak of 4 straight losses, and the Pelicans gave them their 5th loss. But still in all, it was still an impressive outing for the Pelicans to go into Indiana. And remember, they beat the Pacers before 120-98, and then this was a lot more competitive game, and they were able to win this one 124-117. So I was really impressed. Drew Holiday finished with 31 points. He finally got going. You know, as he playing against his brothers, he's excited to play against his brothers and get the win for bragging rights. He finished with 31 points in the matchup, 10 of 22 from the field, 7 of 8 from the free throw line. Remember, the Pelicans got this win against the Pacers, despite the fact that they're missing their number one scorer in Brandon Ingram, 25.5 on the season from him. He was hurt. Zion Williamson didn't play, and those guys still got a very difficult win against the Pacers. You got to give credit where credit's due, how the Pelicans played off the bench. They cycled in lineups. Nico Melli actually got in there and played a little bit. He had 9 points and 6 rebounds. Derek Favors had 15 and 11 on the night. Alonzo Ball had 15 as well. He finished with 15 points in the matchup with 7 assists and 5 rebounds, 31 for Holiday. He carried the night. And then you look at other scores like Josh Hart, he finished with 9. And off the bench, much due respect and love to J.J. Redick, who lit them up. He had 23 points on the night, 7 of 15 from the field, 3 of 8. And, I've always watched J.J. Redick over the years, but, man, I've developed like a new respect for J.J. Redick in the Pelicans uniform. I watch him play for different teams, but, man, and I kind of mislabeled him, because I would say that he's more of an offensive player and he doesn't have much of defensive game to him. But boy, was I wrong about J.J. Redick. He might not be the fastest guy in the world, but boy, does he play with a lot of heart. And what a shooter. No matter what angle, falling away, whatever you got, J.J. Redick forms always perfect. It's consistent, and he knocks those goddamn three-point shots down. I mean, he's absolutely terrific, and 6 of 6 from the free throw line. You can't sneeze at that easy. The Pelicans win 2 in a row. A nice win against the Pacers. That's a win they should be proud of, beating the Pacers. I tell you what, 124-117. Top scorer on their side of the floor was 26 from Jeremy Lamb. He finished with 26, 22 from T.J. Warren in the matchup, and I just love the way the Pelicans took care of business against this team. And that's, like I said, it's something to be proud of. It really is something to be proud of the Pelicans, because to keep it real with you, man, they needed a little help in this matchup. They really did, man. They really needed it. But anyway, I mean, the 2-game winning streak, the Pelicans have to take each game one step at a time. One step at a time. We got to get the 500, and then everything else will take its place. But that'll do it for the Pelican Postgame Report on the PRO Media Network. I'd like to thank you guys for joining us. DC couldn't make it today, but he'll be back on the next episode of the Pelican Postgame Report. Pels, get ready. They got another matchup coming up, too. Let me see what the Pelicans got now. I think it's a Trailblazer, isn't it? Yep. Only 11. Hopefully Pelicans can take care of business. That'll be in the Smoothie King Center All hands will be on deck in that matchup. So thank y'all for joining us. Please subscribe, like, and share, and we'll see you next weekend. Peace. We out.
Are you a Pelicans fan? Check out the Pelican postgame report on the PRO Media Network.
The Kleins family has been getting people to go nuts for old nuts since 1995. As legends have it, a number of the Kleins friends who heard the idea said you can go nuts trying to name a store like that. In the excitement, the Kleins thought their friends said old nuts instead of go nuts and proceeded to throw caution to the wind. Old Nuts has over 2,000 items, bulk and wholesale prices of a whole lot of your favorite fruits, nuts, and confessions, a selection of gift baskets for any budget, any occasion, and provides one of the best and impressively rated shopping experiences on the web. Fact is, between their selection, service, speed, or their online presence and the virtual mirror retail experience, they have developed an enviable client base that's comprised of personal and professional customers who count on their remarkable range of gift baskets. Think of gift basket, think about Old Nuts. Check them out, oldnuts.com. Check the link in the description section below. Tea is your escape. It's your opportunity to create a moment for stillness, for reflection, for yourself. It's your connection to a world of senses, flavors both exotic and familiar, energizing and relaxing. It's your retreat from an increasingly turbulent world. It's the perfect paradox of simplicity and complexity. Teabox.com connects tea to people, uniting the richest flavors of the finest teas with the curious, the cultivated, and the adventurous all over the world. The freshest tea you've ever tasted, from crop to cup. There's simply no simpler way to experience the wonderful complexity of tea. Teabox, packing up the freshness. Tea thrives on freshness, and so do they. Teabox temperature and humidity control facility ensure that tea is maintained. The teas themselves go into oblique bags with aluminum layers that protect them from excess moisture and light. With Teabox, shopping for fresh, loose leaf tea is easy because you make an informed purchase. You know exactly where your tea is coming from. So for the freshest teas in the world, check out Teabox.com. That's right, Teabox.com. Check the link in the description section below.
Are you a boxing fan? Check out Ring Kings Boxing only on the PRO Media Network.
Go to newfrog.com for all of your electronic gadget needs. Fast becoming #1 online seller of cell phone and accessories, consumer electronics, automobiles and motorcycles, home and garden items, 5D diamond painting crafts, electrical and tool supplies, computer and networking supplies, lights and lighting supplies, sports and travel items, toys and hobby supplies, apparel and accessory, mother and kid items, health and beauty items, and much, much more. Newfrog.com has up to 70% off on some products. And you can check out their weekly promotions for all the best deals. Remember, when thinking online electronics and gadgets, think New Frog. Newfrog.com. Check the link in the description section below.
In today's world, children are bombarded with negativity on television, online, and at school. Our kids need to have a positive outlook on life and the world around them. I want to share with you a valuable resource you can use to bring positivity into your child's life. It's the new book, 101 Powerful Children Affirmations, a guide to positive child self-image, from author and dad, G.J. Barabino. This is a simple guide loaded with wonderful and inspirational affirmations designed to uplift young people's spirits. This positive and powerful children affirmational is chock full and loaded with wonderful inspirational sayings that will lift your child's self-image to whole new levels through the awesome power of spoken word. 101 Powerful Children Affirmations, a guide to positive child self-image, from author and dad, G.J. Barabino. Available on Amazon. Order a copy for yourself, your child's teachers, or anyone you know with children. 101 Powerful Children Affirmations, a guide to positive child self-image. Order your copy today.
What's up, sports world? The PRO Media Network is on a mission to reach 10,000 subscribers. So besides our regular programs like the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys, the Pelican Post Game Report, Rapid Fire TSC, and others, we will be expanding out and offering other content like movie, anime, and gaming reviews for your entertainment. So if you enjoy our content, please donate at our Patreon page. Also subscribe, comment, and share. and help the PRO Media Network reach 10,000 subs. Peace.